Welcome back to Coding Cafe. So now in this video tutorial we are going to retrieve finally the user messages. As you know that in the previous video tutorial we have successfully created the messages layout of users. So now in this video what we're going to do, we are going to on the chat activity we will now retrieve all the messages and we will display it on our chat activity. So as you know that this is our chat activity. If I show you, so here we will display the user messages, that is the sender and the receiver. So yeah, let's do that. So on our chat activity, first of all let's go to the activity chat.xml file, and as you know that we have a recycler view which we added in the previous video tutorials. I hope you remembered. Okay, so this is our messages list of users, or you can say this is our recycler view, and this is the ID for it, messages list user. So now we have added that, as you can see, that private recycler view user message list. Now to display the all user messages, what we're gonna do, first we need a module class messages. So let's create a class first, and we can call this as messages and click OK. So our messages class is created successfully. Now here what we're gonna do, here we can say public string and write all the information which you store about the information. If I show you the database, then here we have this messages node, and if I expand this, then we have the date, from, message, time and type. So make sure to use the same spellings name which are here. If you do not use it, then your app will crash. Okay, so make sure to use the same name. Okay, date, time, then we have type, then we have message, and the last one is date, and the last one is from. So we can say from. So yeah, that's it. Now the next thing is to create an empty constructor, or you can say a default constructor. So for that we can say public messages. So this is our default constructor, and now constructor with parameters. So click here and generate constructor with all these parameters. Click OK. So you can see that this is our constructor parameters. Now we need the getter and setter. So click here, generate, and getter and setter, and select all of these. Click OK, and you can see that we have created the getter and setter for all these 5 string type variables, which are basically our database data. So now we will retrieve it and we will display it on our chat activity. So we need another class. So we can say click here, click new, and click Java class, and let's call this as messages adapter. Messages adapter. So this is our messages adapter class. Now inside this we can say private list, capital L, okay, list list, and then inside this we can mention the messages class which we created. So messages, and let's call this as user messages list. Then we can say public messages adapter list messages user message list. This dot user message list equals to user message list. So here we need to extend the messages adapter class to recycler view. So you can say extend recycler view dot adapter messages adapter dot message view holder. Now we have to implement this message view holder class. So you can see this red bulb here. Click here and it says create class message view holder. Click on that and you can see that our public class message view holder is created successfully. And now inside this class, what we're gonna do first, it will extends the recyclerview dot view holder. And now inside this we can say you can see that it shows an error because it needs a constructor. So you can simply click there and generate constructor, and you can see that this is our constructor which we created. Now we need to create a method. So here down below we can say on create. You can see this method appeared on create view holder. Click on that, and now inside this method we can get the views. So remove this return null, and here we can say view. Let's call this as capital view equals to v equals to layout inflate from parent dot get context dot inflate or dot layout dot message layout of user. So in this way we are going to include the message layout of user here, and then we can say parent inside this, okay, comma parent comma false, put a semicolon, and then we can say, so here we need a Firebase auth, so let's create that. So here we can say private Firebase auth. Let's call this as mauth, and now come down here, and here we can say mauth equals to Firebase auth dot get instance, and then we can return new message view holder with this view which is by capital V which we created. Okay, so we have include the message layout of user. So here we need to include the message layout of user. We have two text view and one is the profile picture, if you remember. And let me show you. First we have to include these three fields here on the message adapter. So for that, to include that, here we have this public class message view holder. Above here we can say private. Instead of private we can say public. Okay, write public text view, and let's call it as message text, sender message text. The other one is the receiver message text field, so you can say receiver. Then we have a circle image view, so you can say public circle image view, and let's call this as receiver profile image. Then inside our this message view holder constructor, here we can say sender message text equals to text view find view by ID. By using the item view we can get it. Okay, so you can say item view dot find view by ID or dot ID dot sender message text, and the same we will do for the receiver. So copy that, paste it here, and let's change this to the receiver. So you can say receiver message text and change the ID here to receiver message text. Now for the circle image view, here we can say receiver profile image equals to circle image view item view dot find view by ID or dot ID dot, and the ID of that image was a message profile image. So here we can say message profile image. So yeah, that's it. And now the next thing is to create a method called onBindViewHolder. You can see that, okay, onBindViewHolder. And now inside this method, what we're gonna do, we can say string message sender ID equals to mauth dot get current user dot get UID. Messages, let's call this as messages, equals to user message list dot get, and using this position variable we can get the position. So you can say position string from user ID equals to messages dot get from. So in this way we get the ID of the receiver, okay, from user ID string from message type. So we are going to get the type, that is which kind of type, that is the text. Is this the text message or a file message? That is, are we going to send image in a message, or what we are sending? So as you know that, so in this way we can get it. So you can say messages dot get type. Now we need to create a reference to the database. So for that, come here above, and here we can say private database reference, and let's call this as users database user database reference. Now here we can say users database ref equals to Firebase database dot, sorry for that, it is Firebase database dot get instance dot child, and the child is the users node. That is, from there we are going to retrieve the profile image of the receiver dot child, and the receiver is stored inside this from user ID. So put a semicolon here, and then in the next line we can use a add listener on our this reference to retrieve the profile image. So we can say add value event listener, new value event listener, and inside this onDataChange method, first of all make sure to put a semicolon here, and inside this onDataChange method we can say if data snapshot dot exist, then we are going to get the message URL from the Firebase database. So we can call it as image equal data snapshot dot child, and as you know that inside the Firebase database, the key of that, I mean the name of that, was profile image, okay, PROFILEIMAGE dot get value dot to string. And using the Picasso we can display our picture, Picasso library. So Picasso dot with holder dot user receiver profile image dot get context dot load image dot placeholder or dot drawable dot profile dot into holder dot user profile. So the next thing is to create a get item count method, and you can see it still give us error, and it is because of that method. So if we click here, then you can see this red bull and it says implement method. So click on this implement methods, and you can see that this method is get item count. So click OK, and you can see that our method, which is get item count, is created successfully. And if it do not appears automatically, then you can write it manually, okay, but it will appear automatically just like I did. So make sure to follow the same steps which I am doing. So here we can say user message list dot size, so it will return the size. Now here inside our this onBindView holder class, after this we can say, I mean inside that, okay, after this user database dot add value event listener, here we can say if from message type dot equals to text. So if the message type is text, then what we are going to do, basically we are going to display the layout just like as you guys see in Facebook social networking and other social networking apps. So for that, what we're going to do here, we can say holder dot message receiver message receiver. What was the ID of that? The ID of that was receiver message text. So here we can say holder dot receiver sender message text and receiver message text. Holder. So here we can say holder dot sender message text. Okay, not the I mean the receiver, okay, which we basically getting here. If I show you the receiver message text, sender message text, and we have this receiver profile image. So here we are going to say that is holder dot receiver message text dot set visibility to invisible, and the same we will do for the profile image. So copy that and paste that here, and we can say receiver profile image, and it should be invisible. Now the next step which we will be doing, that is how we can display the message to the sender and to the receiver. So for the sender, we can say from user ID dot equals to message sender ID. So if the from user ID is equals to the sender, the message sender ID, then it means that it is the sender. Then how we will display the layout to the sender, and the else inside the else statement, it is the receiver. That how we will display the message layout to the receiver. So for that, here inside this, I mean for the sender, first we will say holder dot sender message text dot set background resource or dot drawable dot sender message text background. We include the sender message text background which we created in the previous tutorial, and then we can say holder dot sender message text dot set text color, and the text color for this will be color dot white, and the gravity for it will be dot set gravity, and it should be just like Facebook, so we can say gravity dot left. So make it to the left. You can also move it to the right, but left is good if you want a layout just like Facebook Messenger. Holder dot set text messages dot get message. So yeah, this is all for the sender. And now for the receiver, we can say holder dot sender message text dot set visibility, and it should be invisible. And let's copy this and we will change it for the receiver. So here we can say holder dot receiver message text, and it should be visible. And with the receiver text, we are also displaying the user profile image. So we can say holder dot receiver profile image, and it should be visible. And copy this 4 line of code from above and paste it down below, and let's change it for the receiver. So instead of calling it sender message text, we can say receiver message text, and make sure to add here the receiver message text background, and the rest will be the same. So yeah, that's it. And now the next thing is to go back to the chat activity and to display our all messages on our recycler view. So this is our user message list, we call it, we give it a name. So first let's cast this inside in our initialize fields method. So go to the initialize fields method, and here inside our initialize fields, at the end we can say message. First we have to add something which are our messages class and the message adapter class. So come here above and after this recycler view we can say private final list messages, and let's call this as messages list equals to new array list, and put a semicolon here. Then we can say private linear layout manager, let's call this as linear layout manager, private message adapter, this is now the message adapter class, and we can call it as message adapter. So now come back to the initialize fields method, and now inside this here at the end we can say message adapter equals to new message adapter, and pass the message list here. Then we can say user message list equals to recycler view find view by id or dot id dot, and the id for that is for our user message list. Let's check it. What's the id of our, it is messages list users, so let's include that messages list users, so put a semicolon here. So in this way we include the recycler view here, and now the next one is the linear layout manager, so we can say linear layout manager equals to new linear layout manager, this user message list dot set has fixed size to true, user message list dot set layout manager to the linear layout manager. Then we can say user message list dot set adapter message adapter. So yeah, that's it. And now the next thing is to fetch the messages. So for that, here in our onCreate method, what we're gonna do, come here to our onCreate method, and inside our onCreate method, after this click listener, we can call a method which we are going to create now. So that method is fetch messages, and let's create this method, create, and you can see that our method is created successfully. Now inside this method we can say we will basically reference to our messages node, so we can say a root ref, which is basically the reference to the root. You can see that root ref, okay, a database reference. And now we can say root ref dot child, and the child is the messages node dot child message sender id dot child message receiver id dot add child event listener new child event listener, and make sure to put a semicolon here. And now inside our this on child added, here we can say if data snapshot dot exist messages class, let's call it as messages equals to data snapshot dot get value messages message list dot add messages message adapter dot notify dataset change. So whenever a new message is added, it will display it. Okay, so first come down here and we have this send message method, and here we wrote this user message input dot set text to null, which basically means that whenever we send message, then it should remove the text which we send, from the input. You will understand it when I run the app. Okay, so pass that here. Okay, user message input dot set text to null, and also pass that in the else statement. So yeah, that's it. More thing which I forgot to change is go back to the messages adapter.java class, and here when we say inside this else statement sender message text and receiver, and then we have this receiver message text background, and after that we have to change this to receiver. because if we do not change this, then we will get error. I mean, it will just show the receiver message text and nothing else. So make sure to change this to receiver message text. Okay, these four. Okay, so do the same changes, and yeah, that's it. And now let's run the app to see if it is working or not. So our app is running now successfully, and now let's go to, you can see that I am now logged in as Muhammad Ali, and let's go to the messages and let's send message to Mohammed Gulsher. Send message. So let's write our first message. Hello brother. So let's click on send, and you can see that it looks amazing. So this is now the sender, that is I am the sender and I'm sending message to Mohammed Gulsher. So in this way the message will appear to the sender, and we will also check it for the receiver. So let's type another message, send message, and you can see that it looks beautiful. I mean, this is amazing. So now let's go to the Mohammed Gulsher account. I will now log in using Mohammed Gulsher account. So I will log out from here so that we can check that how the receiver will see the messages. That is how Mohammed Gulsher will see my messages. So now I am logged in using Mohammed Gulsher account. If I show you, this is okay. Now let's go to the messages, and I am friend with him. So he will click on send message, and you can see that it is amazing, just like you guys see in Facebook Messenger app and other social networking sites. For Mohammed Gulsher, I am the receiver. Okay, that is I send message to Mohammed Gulsher. So I send message, and now if Mohammed Gulsher will reply to me, so he will say, hey, I am fine. So he will click this, and you can see that. I mean, this is amazing. Let's type another one. Let's send this, and you can see that. I mean, this looks amazing, beautiful. I mean, this is incredible. And this looks, I mean, the layout of this chat activity looks more beautiful and more professional, just like you guys see in Facebook Messenger and other social networking apps. So for the receiver, we will get the profile image of the receiver and his messages, text messages, and for the sender, we will just get the messages like that, just like you guys see in Facebook Messenger. So yeah, that's it for this video, and we will further work on this social app. So almost we have complete this social networking app, and in the next video we will further add more cool functionalities to it. So yeah, that's it for this video, and if anyone is new to our channel, then please subscribe our channel, thumbs up for this video, and if you have any suggestions, then let us know in the comment section down below. Bye for now.